The Galactic Council's laughter echoed across the universe as they mocked human ships. Earth had heard the insults for far too long. The aliens thought human ships were weak, slow, and outdated. They saw Earth as a joke, a planet with nothing special to offer. But they were about to learn a hard lesson. Humanity had been preparing in secret for years, and now they were ready to strike back. In a hidden underground bunker on Earth, the War Council gathered. They sat around a large, glowing table that displayed the galaxy in front of them. The leaders of Earth were calm, but their eyes were filled with anger. The time for patience was over. The aliens had crossed the line, and Earth was done playing nice. The head of the War Council, General Harris, stood up, his voice steady and strong. Enough is enough. The aliens think we're weak. They think our ships are outdated toys. Let's show them what happens when they mock Earth. Let's give them a reason to fear us, General Harris said, looking at each member of the council. The other leaders nodded in agreement. Earth's fleet had been underestimated for too long. While the aliens laughed at the old designs of human ships, they had no idea what those ships were truly capable of. The ships had been built to look simple on purpose, to trick the enemy into thinking they were harmless. But behind those outdated exteriors were advanced weapons, cloaking devices, and powerful AI systems that the aliens couldn't even dream of. Colonel Reed, the head of intelligence, spoke up next. Our ships are ready. The fleet has been on standby for months, waiting for the right moment. We've gathered reports from every corner of the galaxy. The aliens have left their biggest fleets near their home planets thinking we won't dare to strike. They're wrong. General Harris nodded. It's time to call back every ship we have scattered across the galaxy. Send a message to all our fleets. The attack begins in 48 hours. The Council moved quickly. Secret codes were sent out to every human warship stationed in deep space. Some ships were far from Earth, exploring the edges of the galaxy, while others were hidden near alien territories, silently watching and waiting. Every human captain received the same order: return to Earth and prepare for battle. Meanwhile, Earth's top engineers and scientists worked around the clock to upgrade the warships. While the aliens believed human ships were outdated, Earth had actually been developing new technology in secret. Energy shields, advanced weapons, and faster-than-light engines were all being installed on the fleet. The ships were transforming into powerful war machines, ready to take on the alien fleets. As the warships gathered in Earth's orbit, the people of Earth watched from below, cheering for their fleet. They had heard the stories of the aliens' mockery, and they were tired of being laughed at. This wasn't just a battle for survival, it was a battle for pride. Humanity wanted to show the galaxy that they weren't weak. They wanted to prove that Earth was a force to be reckoned with. Back in the War Council bunker, General Harris and his team watched as the fleet grew larger by the hour. Hundreds of ships, once scattered across the galaxy, were now united above Earth. Each one was equipped with the best technology humanity had to offer. The final preparations were being made. We will hit them where it hurts, General Harris said. Their main fleet is stationed near their central base, thinking we won't dare to strike. We will prove them wrong. We will show them the strength of Earth. The countdown had begun. In less than 2 days, humanity would launch its first major strike against the alien fleets. The plan was simple but powerful. Attack without warning, use the element of surprise, and show the aliens that Earth was not to be mocked. As the clock ticked down, the War Council knew that this would be the moment that changed everything. Humanity's revenge was about to begin. As the alien fleets cruised through space, their leaders laughed at the human ships that appeared on their scanners. To them, the ships seemed weak, clunky, and outdated. The aliens had never taken humans seriously, believing that their technology was centuries behind. They saw the human fleet approaching and thought it would be an easy victory. But the aliens were wrong. Very wrong. On the bridge of the lead human warship, the Horizon, Captain Sarah Miller stood calmly, watching the holographic display of the enemy fleet. Her face showed no fear, only focus. She knew the truth about their ships, the power hidden beneath the plain, old-fashioned designs. The humans had been hiding their real capabilities for years, waiting for the right moment to reveal their strength. And today was that moment. "Captain, enemy ships are closing in," her first officer, Lieutenant Jackson, said, his voice steady but full of tension. Captain Miller nodded. "Let them come. They have no idea what's about to hit them." The human fleet, while looking outdated, was equipped with some of the most advanced technology in the galaxy. Every ship was fitted with state-of-the-art cloaking devices, making them invisible to enemy scanners. The ships had shields that could withstand powerful blasts, and their weapon systems were designed to deliver devastating damage in a short amount of time. But the aliens didn't know any of this yet. All they saw were old ships that looked like they belonged in a museum. "Activate the cloaking devices," Captain Miller ordered. One by one, the human ships started disappearing from the enemy's radar. To the aliens, it looked like the human fleet was simply vanishing into thin air. Confusion spread among the alien commanders. Their scanners couldn't detect the human ships anymore, and panic began to set in. "Where did they go?" one alien commander yelled, slamming his fist on the control panel. "Find them!" They couldn't have just disappeared. But no matter how hard the aliens tried, the humans were gone from sight. And that's when the real attack began. With their ships cloaked, the humans moved in silently, surrounding the alien fleet from all sides. Captain Miller's voice remained calm as she gave her next order. "Prepare to fire. We strike fast and hard." The human warships, now invisible, unleashed a barrage of missiles, energy blasts, and lasers. The aliens didn't even have time to react. One by one, their ships were hit with incredible precision. Explosions rocked the alien fleet and their defenses crumbled. They had no idea where the attacks were coming from, only that their ships were being destroyed at an alarming rate. On the alien flagship, panic was spreading like wildfire. The commanders, who had been so confident moments ago, were now shouting orders in chaos. "Raise the shields! Return fire!" they screamed. But it was useless. Their weapons were firing blindly into space, unable to hit anything. The human ships were too fast, too well hidden, and too powerful. Back on the horizon, Captain Miller watched as the alien fleet began to fall apart. The once arrogant alien ships were now nothing more than burning wrecks floating in space. The humans had barely broken a sweat. "Target the flagship," Miller ordered. A single, powerful missile launched from the horizon, cutting through space like a knife. It struck the alien flagship directly in the center, causing a massive explosion. The entire ship was torn apart in seconds, and the debris scattered into the darkness of space. The battle was over. The alien fleet, once so confident in their victory, was now destroyed. Only a few damaged ships remained, limping away in retreat. The humans had won, and they had done it with ease. Captain Miller stood tall on the bridge, watching the destruction unfold. "Let this be a lesson," she said softly. "No one mocks Earth and gets away with it." The human ships deactivated their cloaking devices, revealing themselves once again. But now, the galaxy would see them for what they truly were. Not weak, outdated vessels, but powerful war machines that could turn the tide of any battle. The aliens had learned the hard way that Earth was not to be underestimated. The message was clear. The humans had revealed their real power, and from that moment on, the galaxy would never see them the same way again. The stars glimmered peacefully in the void of space, but beneath that calm surface, war was about to erupt. The human fleet, now fully cloaked and invisible, drifted silently toward its first target, an alien stronghold near the planet Draken 5. This base was heavily fortified, guarded by a fleet of alien warships confident in their superiority. Little did they know, they were moments away from witnessing the full power of Earth's hidden warships. On the human flagship, the Horizon, Captain Sarah Miller stood on the bridge, her hands clasped behind her back. The holographic display showed the alien fleet ahead, a mix of towering cruisers, agile fighters, and massive battle stations. The alien commanders had no reason to believe they were in any danger. Their scanners showed nothing, no signs of approaching ships. But Captain Miller knew that the human fleet was already in striking position, completely undetected. "Are all ships in place?" she asked, her voice steady and calm. Lieutenant Jackson nodded. "Yes, Captain. All ships are cloaked and ready to engage." Captain Miller allowed herself a small smile. The time had come to strike. The aliens had mocked Earth, but now they would pay for their arrogance. Turning to her crew, she gave the order. "Prepare to fire. Target their largest ships first. We'll cripple them before they can even react." The crew moved swiftly, tapping on control panels and preparing the ship's weapon systems. The human fleet, still invisible, locked onto their targets. The alien ships drifted lazily in space, completely unaware of the danger lurking around them. "Fire!" Captain Miller commanded. In an instant, the silent void of space erupted into chaos. Invisible missiles and energy blasts streaked through the darkness, striking the alien warships with deadly precision. Explosions bloomed across the alien fleet as ship after ship was hit by powerful human weaponry. The aliens had no time to react, no warning, no chance to defend themselves. They didn't even know where the attacks were coming from. On board the alien flagship, panic broke out. The commander, a towering figure with blue scales and piercing yellow eyes, slammed his fists onto the control panel. "What's happening? Where is the enemy?" But the alien crew could offer no answers. Their scanners were showing nothing. No ships, no attackers, nothing at all. It was as if the universe itself was striking them down. The alien fleet scrambled to raise their shields and return fire, but it was too late. The human assault was swift and brutal. One of the alien cruisers, a massive ship armed with heavy cannons, was hit by a barrage of human missiles. The explosion tore through the ship's hull, sending debris spiraling into space. The cruiser's engines exploded next, creating a fiery blaze that lit up the battlefield. The aliens watched in horror as their proud warship was reduced to a burning wreck within moments. Meanwhile, the human fleet continued their assault, picking off alien ships one by one. Human fighters darted between the larger ships, launching precision strikes that disabled alien weapons and engines. The larger human battleships targeted the alien command vessels, ripping through their defenses with powerful laser cannons. The alien fleet tried to fight back, but their shots went wild, firing blindly into the emptiness of space. Their weapons couldn't lock onto the human ships, which remained cloaked and untouchable. The aliens were fighting ghosts that were tearing their fleet apart. Back on the horizon, Captain Miller watched the destruction unfold on the holographic display. Alien ships were falling apart all around them, reduced to floating wrecks by the human onslaught. "Focus fire on their command ship," she ordered. "Let's end this." The human fleet turned its attention to the massive alien flagship, which was still struggling to find its enemy. A coordinated volley of missiles and energy blasts slammed into the command ship's hull, ripping it open. The alien commander screamed orders in a frenzy, but his voice was drowned out by the alarms and explosions. His ship was doomed. With one final blast, the alien flagship exploded in a brilliant burst of fire and debris, sending shockwaves across the battlefield. The remaining alien ships, seeing their leader destroyed, broke formation and fled, their morale shattered. The humans had won the battle, and they had won it easily. As the wreckage of the alien fleet drifted through space, the human ships deactivated their cloaking devices, revealing themselves to the galaxy for the first time. The message was clear: Earth was not to be underestimated. The first attack had been a complete success, and humanity had shown the aliens that they were a force to be feared. Captain Miller stood tall on the bridge, her eyes fixed on the fading remains of the alien fleet. "This is only the beginning," she said quietly. "We're just getting started." News of the devastating attack spread through the galaxy like wildfire. What was supposed to be a simple defeat of human ships had turned into a nightmare for the alien fleet. In less than an hour, the once mighty alien armada was reduced to wreckage, floating lifelessly in space. The humans had revealed their hidden power, and now fear was creeping through every corner of the galaxy. On the alien homeworlds, leaders gathered in secret meetings. They couldn't believe what had happened. Humans were supposed to be weak, a minor species with old technology and no real military power. But after the annihilation of their fleet, it was clear the humans had been hiding their strength all along. The galaxy was no longer safe from Earth, and no one knew what the humans would do next. In the capital city of the Dravak Empire, one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy, Emperor Kaln sat at the head of a grand council. His expression was grim, and the room was filled with tension. Around him, his advisors whispered in nervous tones, their faces pale with worry. This is impossible," one advisor stammered. "How did the humans, primitive humans, destroy an entire fleet?" Emperor Kaln slammed his fist on the table, silencing the room. "Enough! We were wrong to underestimate them," he growled. "The humans are no longer a joke. They're a threat." The council fell silent, fear heavy in the air. For years, the Dravak Empire had mocked Earth, dismissing it as insignificant. But now, they were facing the harsh reality. Earth was more dangerous than anyone had ever imagined. Across the galaxy, other alien empires were reacting the same way. In the Zyran Coalition, a collective of powerful planets, panic was spreading among their military commanders. Their ships had never faced anything like the human fleet. The Zyran leaders, once confident in their superiority, were now scrambling to prepare for a possible human attack. In a high-tech war room, General Krask, leader of the Zyran military, stared at the holographic footage of the destroyed alien ships. "We must upgrade our defenses," he said, his voice tense. "If the humans can do this to one of the strongest fleets in the galaxy, they can do it to us." The galaxy's most powerful races were shaken. For centuries, they had ruled the stars, believing they were invincible. But now the balance of power had shifted. The humans were no longer just another species. They were a rising force that could challenge the greatest empires in the galaxy. On human-controlled Earth, however, things were calm. The people carried on with their lives, unaware of the terror their ships had caused in distant star systems. The leaders of Earth's military, though, knew exactly what was happening. In a secret meeting room deep beneath the surface of the planet, General Marcus Black watched the galaxy's reaction with cold satisfaction. "The aliens are scared," he said, a slight smile on his face. "Good. It's about time they learned not to mess with Earth." Around him, the other military leaders nodded in agreement. They had spent decades preparing for this moment, developing advanced technology in secret. While the aliens had laughed at their old, clunky ships, the humans had been quietly building weapons that could outmatch anything the galaxy had ever seen. "What's our next move?" one of the commanders asked. General Black leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "We continue to strike. We make them fear us even more. Soon, they'll realize that Earth is not to be trifled with." Back in the galaxy, fear was spreading fast. Alien news channels reported on the human attacks with growing panic. Civilian populations were demanding answers from their governments. Rumors swirled about Earth's hidden fleets, their advanced weapons, and their terrifying ability to destroy entire fleets without warning. On the alien colony worlds, some civilians started fleeing their homes, afraid that Earth would be the next invader. The galaxy's leaders were desperate to maintain control, but the fear was too strong. Earth's sudden rise to power had shaken the foundations of the galaxy, and no one knew how to stop it. The humans had won one battle, but the fear they had unleashed was even more powerful. For the first time in centuries, the great empires of the galaxy felt vulnerable. Earth had become a symbol of terror, and the galaxy could feel the shift. As the human fleet prepared for its next move, one thing was clear: fear had taken root in the galaxy, and it was spreading like a wildfire. The galaxy was in chaos. After the destruction of the alien fleet, fear and panic had spread to every corner. Governments were in disarray, military commanders were on edge, and civilians were gripped with terror. But Earth, the source of this fear, had been silent. No official statements, no declarations of war, just the crushing defeat of one of the galaxy's strongest armadas. The aliens had no idea what the humans would do next. That silence was about to be broken. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, in a heavily fortified bunker, the leaders of Earth's defense forces gathered. The room was filled with high-ranking officers and government officials, all focused on a single figure standing at the head of the table, General Marcus Black. He had led Earth's military preparations for decades, and now he stood ready to deliver the final message to the galaxy. "We've proven our strength," General Black began, his voice calm but commanding. "The aliens thought they could mock us, insult us, and crush us, but we've shown them what Earth is capable of. Now it's time to send them a message they won't forget." The holographic display in the room showed the scattered remains of the alien fleet drifting through space. It was a brutal reminder of what had happened just days before. The aliens had underestimated Earth, and they had paid the price. But the humans weren't interested in starting a galaxy-wide war, at least not yet. "We don't need to conquer the galaxy," General Black continued. "We don't need to invade their worlds or destroy their cities. All we need is for them to understand one thing: Earth is off limits." The plan was simple. A single final warning would be sent to every major government in the galaxy. Earth didn't want to rule over them, but if they were provoked again, the humans wouldn't hesitate to strike. This was their last chance to avoid total war. "Are we ready?" General Black asked, turning to one of his officers. The officer nodded. "Yes, sir. The message is prepared and will be broadcast to every corner of the galaxy." General Black gave the order. "Send it." In an instant, Earth's message spread across the galaxy. Every alien leader, from the smallest outpost commander to the emperors of the largest empires, received the same transmission. The message was clear and direct, without any room for misunderstanding. The holographic image of General Black appeared before them, his expression cold and serious. "This is General Marcus Black of Earth. We have destroyed one of your strongest fleets without a single loss. We have the power to defend our planet and destroy any force that threatens us. This is your final warning. Stay away from Earth or face complete annihilation. We do not seek war, but if you force our hand, we will not hesitate to act. Earth is no longer your prey. Consider this your only warning." The message ended, leaving alien leaders in stunned silence. Some had been preparing for retaliation, readying their forces for war. But now, after seeing what the humans had done and hearing their final warning, those plans were abandoned. Fear had already spread across the galaxy, and now it was cemented. No one dared challenge Earth after such a brutal display of power. In the capital of the Dravok Empire, Emperor Kaln sat frozen in his throne room, the weight of the message sinking in. His fleet was gone, his military was crippled, and now Earth had delivered an ultimatum he couldn't ignore. There would be no revenge, no glorious battle to regain honor. The humans had made their stance clear. Earth was untouchable. In the Zyran coalition, General Krask, leader of their military, stood before his officers, the message still playing on the screen. He clenched his fists, frustrated but helpless. "We can't win against them," he muttered. "We must leave Earth alone." Across the galaxy, the reaction was the same. Alien governments, once so confident in their superiority, now scrambled to adjust their policies. Any plans to attack or invade Earth were abandoned. The humans had made it clear they wouldn't strike unless provoked, but if anyone dared to challenge them again, the consequences would be catastrophic. Back on Earth, General Black watched the galaxy's reaction with satisfaction. The transmission had done exactly what it was meant to do, strike fear into the hearts of the galaxy's most powerful empires. The humans had no interest in conquest. All they wanted was to live in peace. But if that peace was threatened, Earth's response would be swift and merciless. "We've done it," one of the officers said, a smile on his face. "They'll never bother us again." General Black nodded, but his face remained serious. "We've given them their warning. Now it's up to them to decide what happens next." As Earth returned to its quiet strength, the galaxy remained in the shadow of fear. The humans had spoken, and for now, the galaxy would listen.